So you take the situation in Europe. Europe needs huge amounts of natural gas to function because it uses natural gas for heat. And it also uses natural gas for electricity. And Europe has had this idea that we can rapidly replace fossil fuels with solar and wind. So that's been their idea. But solar and wind, as I said, cannot exist at all on their own. They need natural gas in particular. Natural gas is basically like an amazing natural battery that's very cheap. So it can ramp up and down very quickly like a jet engine to accommodate the massive fluctuations of sunlight and wind. So actually, when you do a lot of sunlight and wind, you don't become free of the need for fossil fuels. You become particularly dependent on one fossil fuel, which is natural gas. Or technically, you can substitute oil, but usually gas is a lot cheaper, so they use gas. So in effect, they're hugely dependent on natural gas. But they had this idea that we're going to restrict investment, production, and transport of fossil fuels. So what did they do when fracking developed? Like fracking is the best broadly shale energy technology. That's the most revolutionary energy development of the last 20 years. As soon as Europe saw it, they preemptively banned it. So they banned it in France, banned it in the UK, banned it in Ireland, banned it in Spain, right? They banned it all over the place. And they did nothing to secure reliable sources of energy from free allied countries like the US, because they had this idea we're going to rapidly replace fossil fuels with solar and wind, but that didn't work. So they reduced domestic production. So what happens? They depend on foreign production. It's that simple. If you try to rapidly replace fossil fuels with solar and wind, which doesn't work, then you become more dependent on foreign sources if you don't produce it domestically yourself. So it's very simple, but everyone wants to pretend it's something else because it's. But what's great about this moment is the public is really starting to see, because they know that for decades people have been saying we shouldn't drill, we shouldn't invest in this stuff, this is bad, and then they see, wow, the prices are going up, and we didn't get this magical replacement, and they're starting to blame the people who were against fossil fuels.